Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in today. I'm so sorry I was out for a couple weeks. I was really, really sick for about 10, 11 days. I think I got the Kofu. My husband actually got sick and brought it home from work. I think it was from someone there, and within probably 3 days after he was home sick, I started getting a fever. And I pretty much had a fever every day on and off for about 10 days. I'd never had anything like it before. It was just really miserable. My ears are still adjusting too, because I felt like my head was just one huge bell. It just felt very off. And it just took a really, really long time for me to start feeling better. So I still have some congestion in my chest, but I made it. I made it. So today I wanted to let you know a couple of things. So before I got sick, this was a few weeks ago, when we had some of the fires up here around my area. I went outside one night, and as the sky was getting dark from the smoke, and there was something that was propelling. It literally almost hit me in the face. I thought it was a seed off of my tree outside, and I was like, oh, that's too big for it to be a seed, but it was twirling like a helicopter propeller, and it almost smacked me right in the face. And I looked down, and it's in a water bucket that I was going to use to go water my rose bush, and I looked down, and it was dove feather. Weirdest thing. I mean, I find dove feathers all the time because we have doves around us all the time, but never have I ever walked outside and had something literally propelling itself and almost hitting me in the face. So it was definitely a message from someone. And then a couple of days after that, I walk outside, and lo and behold, I look over on my patio furniture, and I find a little dovey egg. And once in a while we find these, but they're usually on the ground, and this one literally was sitting on my patio furniture. There's no trees around. It's up against my house, and it was just perfectly laying there on my patio furniture. So I kind of took that as a sign as we're being rebirthed. Okay, it's coming real soon. So after I got that egg, I asked my higher self, and I said, okay, give me a sign. Please leave me a feather from a hawk or a falcon around here that lets me know that our ascension is coming really soon. So a couple of days after that, I went outside to sprinkle some powder for these darn beetles in our area, and I'm sprinkling around the tree outside, and look what I found. A falcon wing feather. Oh my gosh. Is that not beautiful? In the 7 years we've lived here, and I've seen falcons, and they're sort of my totem animal, I've never had a feather left for me. And it's because I asked for it, and Ascension is coming, guys. It's coming. We're getting ready to go home. So I just think this is the coolest thing. I love it. They're my treasures. And if you call upon your higher self, they're gonna reciprocate, and they're going to answer you. And I want to do a series of videos. I don't know if a lot of people haven't heard of her, but it was about 10 years ago when I started awakening too, and I love Native American teachings. And I found a lady named Keisha Crowther, and she is from the tribe of many colors. So her name's Little Grandmother, and she's got some great information, and I really find her stuff very peaceful because it's very grounding. Anything native for me is very grounding. Um, I used to go to the Indian powwows when we lived in Texas every year. It was about a few weeks before my birthday, and I would go and spend my birthday money there because I just loved all the trinkets and things you could buy. So I have lots of Native American things in my home. Keisha Crothers, she has a few videos. She hasn't done any in a long time. So I wanted to read you. It says, Keisha Crowther, Little Grandmother, began receiving direct teachings from the spirit world and Mother Earth as a child who spent much time alone in the wilderness. She was recognized and initiated as shaman at the age of 30 and has since been traveling the world doing healing ceremonies for Mother Earth and sharing the messages and teachings she has been given for the benefit of humanity. Her talks, freely available on the web, on YouTube and Vimeo, have been viewed by millions of people all over the world. She used to live in Santa Fe, New Mexico, but I think she's in Netherlands now. But her stuff is just so awesome, and like I said, it brings me peace. So I'm gonna read for you today a little bit about some stuff in her book here, and it's called basically, this is what we need to do right now in this time, is the shift from mind to heart. So instead of this logical thinking and everything thinking out of our heads, we need to start living through our hearts and making decisions out of our hearts. So it says, there are two great ancient civilizations that today hold the keys to living from the heart: the Mayans and the Aboriginal people. They still live from the heart, and they are the ones who are teaching us now to live from the heart again. For thousands of years, human civilization has developed in a particular way. We have developed the capacity of our rational minds to the extent that we have made great inventions and built great cities. And in very recent years, we have made a huge leap in our discovery of new technologies. There is no doubt that we have done some amazing things, but the problem is that we have left the heart behind. We stopped acting from and making decisions from the heart and feeling our connectedness to all life. We have overvalued the rational, logical mind and believe only in what we can see and experience with our bodily senses. This was never how it was intended to be. We are being asked now to start living from the heart again, and this is one of the messages I have been asked specifically to share. This is the universal law. The more loving you are, the more intelligent you become. Just imagine all the advancements in technology we have created with our minds in just the last 10 years. It's mind-boggling. Yet we still cannot solve some of the most urgent problems facing us today. The great problem is how to heal what we have done to the earth already, and how to stop doing what we have been doing to her ever since human beings forgot their connection to the web of life. If we have been able to create so much using our minds, imagination, imagine what we might create if we were operating from the heart. Mind would not be inactive or unused. It would grow much more powerful because it would be in the right relationship to heart, to the source of being, and to creation. If we stop operating from an ego-driven mental consciousness, we will stop striving for meaningless things that gratify only the smallest part of who we are. We will stop wasting our mental energy and will start directing every ounce of our hearts and minds to healing the earth and creating bounty for all beings. We could create a paradise on earth unlike anything we have seen before. I have been taught by Spirit that Mother Earth is sacred and that human beings will not be allowed to kill her. She is sacred to all life forms in the universe, not just to human beings. We need to raise our vibration high enough so that we can shift with her into a higher state of being. We have been causing her great harm for so long that something major must happen to correct the path we are treading, to help her breathe again. For human beings, the situation is urgent. We must shift into higher consciousness if we are to remain on planet Earth as her children. If you listen, none of the indigenous elders or wisdom keepers on our planet are saying, now you must go and do something. Rather, they are saying, be. They are telling us to be the change, to focus on being rather than on doing for once. If enough of us can connect with our hearts and the love that is there, the love that is all around us in nature, and understand the beauty and sacredness of this life we are given, we will flip the ruling consciousness of the planet from mind to heart. Flipping the bobber of global consciousness. One of the ways in which I receive spiritual messages and information is through what seems like a large TV screen that opens in my field of vision. In this way, I can also communicate with other wisdom keepers and beings elsewhere on the planet. I call it my picture show. Once I was shown a specific lesson about how this change from mind to heart consciousness will happen. I saw a bobber floating on the water, just like when you go fishing. If you catch a fish, it bobs down under the water. One half is red, and the other half is white. The bobber represented planetary consciousness. I saw that right now on planet Earth, the white side of the bobber is showing, and the red is submerged. The white represents mind consciousness, how humanity is obsessed with thinking, judging, and perceiving reality from this narrow place. The red side represents heart consciousness, living from the reality of love, a much larger consciousness that makes us aware that we are all brothers and sisters, and that we can create our own reality. Though the white side was on top, I was shown that the bobber was starting to flip. There are thousands of people on the planet right now who are extremely committed to changing the consciousness on the planet, who are very dedicatedly working for this. More and more people are waking up every day, realizing that each have a divine spark within us, that who we are is much larger than we ever imagined. The more of us who change our own consciousness and wake up to who we are, the more we will flip that bobber will flip over to heart consciousness. It isn't required that everyone on the planet make the leap, because love vibration is the highest vibration in existence. It is more powerful than mind or ego consciousness. If people wake up and start living from the heart, we will change the ruling consciousness on the planet. We have the ability to flip the bobber, to change the ruling consciousness on the planet Earth. In fact, it is only a matter of time. I believe we will do it very soon. And when it does flip, everything will change. Our world will change. We will collectively understand that we can create the kind of life we want on Earth with each other, that whatever we can dream, we can create. This is when we will begin to create a paradise on Earth and to find solutions to our most urgent problems, to clean up what we have done to Mother Earth and create a more balanced, just, and beautiful human society. The way we see reality, the way we see each other, the way we view what we are capable of and incapable of, it will all change. We will realize all of a sudden that we can create reality as we wish it to be, that we can do amazing things. The key is that we must remember that we are gods and goddesses, not the limited beings we think we are. We are sparks of the divine consciousness. Each of us has a great I am that sent a spark of us here to experience and learn from being in a human body and from having this amazing human heart. By living from love and being in the heart, we will remember that most sacred truth that we are all brothers and sisters and children of one mother, Mother Earth. We are not separate from each other or from any other life form. What happens to one of us happens to all of us. Because human energy is identical to Earth energy, what happens to Mother Earth also happens to us, and vice versa. Yet we are capable of changing this world in which we live. Spirit has shown me that the time of the great shifting of Earth, humanity will unify as one family, one tribe, and that this tribe will be a rainbow tribe, one made from many colors. Not the one that's going around right now, that's rainbow LGBTQ. This is rainbow meaning like lots of different cultures, basically. The only way this tribe can come together is through realizing that we are one heart, not actually separate from each other. What one person or people feel, all will feel. We will all feel. When one person or part of creation is unhealthy, we're all going to be unhealthy. It affects us all. Excuse me. Though our ecological systems have been showing us this interdependency for many centuries, we are now starting to understand it. We are not separate from each other or from Mother Earth. We are here to learn, to love, to create. We are here to love each other and all life. Planet Earth is the planet of the heart chakra of the cosmos. It is our ability to love and feel emotion. That is our greatest gift, and that makes us so interesting to the other beings of the cosmos, and there are many. Each day, we can let our hearts be broken open by the beauty of creation, by the beauty of this experience. We can take the time each day to feel gratitude to Mother Earth, to Great Spirit, for all that we are and have. We can start to let go of those beliefs and ideas that do not serve our lives individually or collectively any longer. We are not what we do for a living or how much money we have. We are not what others think of us or even what we think of ourselves. We are not our identities, our status, our accumulated experiences, our successes and mistakes, or our personalities. We must let go of all that we've been told we should want and of what we've been told matters and decide that these things for ourselves from our deepest hearts. What matters most? What brings you true joy? Who are you? What would you live for if you had the courage to? What brings you tears of gratitude and wonder? When do you feel most at home in yourself? To delve into these questions is the first step toward touching what it feels like to live in the heart. Let me see. How much longer is this? Not much. How do we start living from the heart? But how exactly do we start living from the heart? How do we know when we are in the heart? Like so much in life, the answer is quite simple, but because our minds complicate things, it can seem difficult at first. For me, being in the heart has to do with being in the present, not just to my surroundings and what it is before me, but to myself, to my feelings as they are happening. There are many spiritual teachers and paths describing the same thing, perhaps using different language to do so. But they point to the same state of being, which is really a kind of innocence and openness to life. Basically, when I speak of living from the heart, I mean living from a place of presence in the moment where the mind isn't ruling the show. I am not thinking about everything as I am experiencing it. I am feeling it, I'm sensing it, not separating myself from what I am experiencing through my thoughts about it. Using my heart rather than my mind to perceive reality implies a connectedness between everything I see, touch, and sense in my own inner being. When we are living from the heart, we feel that we are one with other living things, with everything that is. We feel that what happens to one person is also on some level happening to others because we are all alive and made of consciousness and energy. We are not really separate from each other. To our intellects, this seems like a stretch and very different from how we've been taught to see reality. Yet we have all experienced some form of this state of being, even if only for moments at a time. Sometimes this state is accompanied by a quiet contentment, a feeling of great peace. Sometimes it is accompanied by a kind of ecstasy, the sheer bliss of being alive, the bliss of loving life. Sometimes it comes with a heightened awareness of suffering, of the pain being experienced right now by others, beings on the planet, or the great mystery of existence, which includes both bliss and agony and everything in between, in each moment. We feel more and are willing to feel that this sometimes crazy existence offers us. We let ourselves be opened by life. We make ourselves more receptive to others, to each day, to each moment. We all do this naturally in our own way, even without thinking about it too much. Chances are you have a way of tuning yourself to your own heart, a way of coming home to yourself. For me, interacting with the natural world is a surefire way of bringing me back into my heart, into my deeper presence. To really interact with an animal, I must use my perception and senses in a different way than we are taught to. I must trust my senses and instincts. I must open myself to the reality in which animals live, which is utterly in the moment, in harmony with Mother Earth. One cannot communicate with an animal if one is caught up in ego and mind. One must become totally part of heart and learn to truly listen. What tunes you to your own deepest heart? For some people, being with children or with animals helps them bring them into their hearts. For other people, music does it best, shifting consciousness from a feeling of separateness to a feeling of unity and harmony. To know when you are in the heart, follow the emotion. Chances are you will feel greater emotion when you shift into your heart. This may not always be positive emotions such as joy, gratitude, or bliss. If you have spent a long time away from your own heart, you may feel some things you've been trying not to feel. You may feel grief or sadness. You may start to feel whatever you have been holding back. This has to happen so that your heart can be cleansed and healed. You will have to feel what is in your heart to air it out and release whatever sorrows and hurts you are holding. This will create space for even greater love, even greater beauty to exist in you. But we have to be willing to get real with ourselves and feel what we are feeling in any moment. Goes a little bit deeper than that, but and then this page talks about, though it is tempting to feel fear about these earth changes and the shifting of the poles that is prophesied to come, we must remember that all these things are the labor pangs required to birth a new world. So, we've been talking about this, several people have been talking about this for years and years and years, about the new earth coming in. If you watch Dolores Cannon, she talks about the earth separating into two. We will be asked to let go of those things we do not truly need and that have kept us imprisoned in a very limited way of being. As we see certain structures fall out all around us, we will realize that these walls that fall are the very walls that have kept us in prison and separated us from each other, from the truth of really who we are. We will come into a higher truth as humanity, and we will at last be able to create the kind of world we know is possible. Those old structures that governed our lives have to fall before we can begin anew. It is an amazing gift to be alive and a child of Mother Earth in this exact moment. The entire universe is watching what is happening on planet Earth. We are about to ascend in consciousness as a species, and Mother Earth is about to be reborn. Do not hold on to what is old and passing away. Let your heart be open to the divinity of each moment you are given, to the love you have for this planet, this existence, for all the precious beings in your life, for this chance to be here. Stay in love and know that you will be protected. All is happening as your great I Am planned before you came here. You will always exist. Things change form, but it is an expansion, not a lessening of being that is coming to us. There is nothing to fear. When everything settles and light returns, you will see with new eyes, and the beauty you see will melt your heart with gratitude and awe. You will hear the sweet strains of a song more beautiful than you can imagine. It is the song of the soul of Earth and her beautiful children that you already know in your heart, that you will fondly remember. That was the whole reason why you came here. So that's just a couple of chapters from her book, and I'll read a couple more in some following videos. But a few days ago, and if you've watched my videos before, I follow Yellow Rose for Texas as well, and she's posted on some of her, she's on Gab as well, and she has some pictures. And literally, she talks about the Ascension period and how we have the East Gate and the West Gate, and those that will be going through another lifetime to grow their spiritual fat will be going out the West Gate. She has a picture of the Earth at the East Gate right now. We're literally right in front. Her newest video that she just did about a week ago, there's another video embedded in that of a guy that took some pictures of the sun, and it literally shows the planet arc for the one, and like the portal, the gateway, and it just blows my mind, and it really touched my heart, because we are going home. And I think a lot of what's going on right now with all this craziness, and I was so negative for a while because I was feeling sick, and I was like, I just don't care anymore. I just don't want to hear about this, and I don't want to hear about anything that has anything to do with anything negative. I just don't want to hear about it. I'm so tired about hearing about it. I'm so ready to just be positive. And, yesterday was the 8th of August in the Lionsgate portal. And yesterday I just started feeling better and more positive. And I can feel it. And I think a lot of people are feeling changes going on right now. And I watched a video from several things that I follow about people talking about how they want to move right now, or they want a new job, or they just want to change in their lifestyle. And it's like a lot of us do. A lot of us want that change, but we have this little voice inside of us that says, no, you need to stay where you are. Just stay where you are. And you know why? Because we're almost there. We're literally about to lift the dome on this place, and we're about to go home. So follow the sun too. The sun flares, the sun flashes. Like I said in my previous videos, I really think we're going to have a huge flash and it's going to help push us into the fifth dimension. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So it's not only me, there's a lot of people that follow Yellow Rose for Texas, and they feel it too, and we're all so excited that, you know, we're so close. We're so close to going home. We're so close to having all this just fall away. You know, we have been on the precipice for a long time, and it's just seconds away, literally. Like any day, we're gonna be sitting here, and something boom, 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 boom is gonna happen to trigger it all, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great, guys. So anyway, yeah. Next video, hopefully I can do another one this week if I'm still feeling okay. I'm still feeling, you know, I have my days. So, but we'll talk about some more stuff from Little Grandmother, um, about the star beings and the divine, and I think I might do some more with the Curial and talk about Lemuria and Atlantis. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this information. Like I said, I've always been fond of Native American teachings because it's very grounding for me, and her stuff is just very peaceful, and there's no fear based in it. So don't fear, guys. Don't fear. Okay, we've already won. We've already got this. It's just playing out, and that's what we're feeling, is just this huge heaviness and this sludge that we have to get through. And there are days where I just don't even want to get out of bed because I just feel so heavy. I feel so heavy, and my head is just feels this big, and I just have to keep reminding myself to, you know, whatever makes you happy. I need to go stick my feet in the grass and the ground and connect and ground myself to Mother Earth. I need to listen to music that's going to uplift me, you know, and get me back on track. Those things like that. So hopefully y'all are feeling the same way. Comment down below, email me. And for now, I love you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.